RAW review for September 4th, 2017, for the Labor Day edition of Monday Night Raw. We're going to get right into this. The main event last night was a steel cage match between The Big Show and Braun Strowman. It took place, let me get my notes around here. My computer wasn't working last night, so I had to go with the old pen and paper. All right, so we are live from Omaha, Nebraska. And we start out very much unlike they have on Raw as of late. We started out with a match rather than a promo. And so Cena's in the ring, and he's going to take on Jason Jordan. And they kind of play off the fact that, in 2002, 15 years ago, Cena debuted around this time and faced Kurt Angle, which is Jason Jordan's illegitimate father. So this is actually a decent match. Despite the fact that the Jason Jordan storyline is dead and the fact that nobody really cares about it, they go for about 20 minutes and they put on a really decent match. There's a spot where Jason Jordan hit a Northern Lights suplex and then rolled over the top and then hit it again, and then he bridged for a cover. Got a 2 count. But other than that, it was a very amateur wrestling style match. A lot of holds, a lot of belly to backs, takedowns, things of that nature. And they go to commercial in it in the middle of the match, which was an issue for me throughout the show. There's a spot where Jordan counters an AA attempt, and what happens? He rolls up Cena, and then Cena counters that into an STF, which is then countered into a crossface by Jordan, and then Cena powers out of that and hits the AA, and that was it. Jason Jordan kind of got the approval as far as wrestling a match goes with Cena tonight. That you could see them exchanging words after the match, and he kind of gave him a pat on the back or tap on the head kind of thing. So Cena, I'm assuming, approves of Jason Jordan's work when it comes to working in the ring. So there's that, and then Cena's kind of getting ready to celebrate, and Roman Reigns comes out, and they cut to commercial again. We come back a couple minutes later, and Cena and Reigns kind of they go one-on-one again in a promo. And this one was about respect and how Reigns and Cena don't respect each other for their differences. One of them was Reigns says that Cena's all talk. And if he's as great as he said he is, and why is a 16-time champ taking 20 minutes to beat a rookie, which is kind of a bash at Jason Jordan. He's a great worker. His storyline's shit anyways, but you're just burying him further doing that. Like, they put on a really great match in the ring, and then Reigns is going to come out and say something like that. So that's kind of disgruntling. But Jason Jordan's kind of dead in the water right now anyways. So they go at it, and then there's a spot where Reigns kind of eggs the crowd on. He's like, Cena, come on, beat me up. Here's your chance. Cena doesn't do anything. And that was kind of that. Just regurgitating things he said last week. He's a fake-ass bitch. He's a has-been, part-timer, this, that, and the other. Not a whole lot to go on there. We get the announcement that The Big Show and Braun Strowman are going to have a steel cage match. And then we go into a commercial break, and we come back. And Ambrose and Rollins were sitting commentary for the Sheamus and Cesaro versus Rhino and Slater match. Just a little side note to be aware of. Rather than saying Sheamus and Cesaro, they've been referring to themselves as The Bar now. I'm assuming that's like the standard kind of thing. So So Rhino and Slater are facing the Bar, and it was pretty quick and painless. Sheamus hits a brogue kick on Rhino, and that was kind of it. We get an interview with Jeff Hardy. And again, they tease the broken or awoken gimmick. It's got to be coming soon. I don't know what it's going to take, but I don't know. So Jeff has this interview. Matt and Jeff have this interview in the back with Renee Young. And, Jeff's excited about the fact that his daughter might get the chance to see him win the Intercontinental Championship, and that he's either going to win the title or he's going to go down in a blaze of glory kind of thing. And Matt kind of warns the Miztourage if they interfere, they're going to be in for a wonderful twist of fate. I'm sorry, that was terrible. But he says they're going to be in for a wonderful twist of fate. So then we get to the Intercontinental title match, and they go to commercial. So the matches we care about, they go to commercial. They do this all the time. Why not have the commercial in the Cesaro and Sheamus versus Rhino and Slater match? Why not? We don't care about that match. It's going to be a squash anyway, so why not put a commercial there rather than in a match that we actually care about, a title match? Let them actually get more camera time. So we get into the match, and Matt and the Miztourage kind of go at it at the outside of the ring after the Miztourage tries to interfere. They both get kicked out, but Maurice stays at ringside. Keep that in mind. And so Jeff hits a twist of fate, and he goes to the top for a Swanton Bomb, and I thought it was kind of a botch. I thought that Maurice was maybe supposed to drag him away to the ropes or something, but she kind of reaches out and touches his hand, and Miz rolls out of the way. So then Jeff goes for another twist of fate. The Miz counters it into a skull-crushing finale, and he's pinned. I love the work that The Miz has done with the title. Not necessarily what he's done on Raw, but the stuff that he was doing on SmackDown with like Ziggler and in that competition. It was good. It was great. It was captivating. It was great to watch. He cut that huge promo on Talking Smack against Daniel Bryan, and that was great to watch. Like, I was actually interested in that, and what Raw's doing with him just isn't good. Put the title on a babyface. It's a working man's title, and go from there. Let a heel chase, or let a heel, kind of do heelish things rather than holding the title and just doing the same thing over and over, using his escorts to help him win. Let him attack him from behind. Let him do the things like that, rather than him just holding on and cheating to win every single match. That's my thoughts on that. We have a backstage segment with Nia Jax, Emma, and Kurt Angle. And basically, they're both like, Kurt, I deserve a title shot, this, that, and the other. And so Kurt schedules a tag team match with Nia Jax and Emma facing Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. And if Nia and Emma win, they get added to the title match at No Mercy. So moving on now, we have a Cruiserweight segment. And Enzo Amore cuts a promo that further makes 205 Live look like a joke. These guys went from putting on these fantastic matches during the Cruiserweight Classic. Cedric Alexander puts on a phenomenal showing with Kota Ibushi, and these other guys put in great work. Grand Metalik was in the Final Four. So these guys can really go. And Tony Nese looks great. I don't I don't care much for Gulak's new look without the beard. Noam Dar is kind of meh now. But they went from putting on these matches now, and they're kind of in the shadow of Enzo. So Enzo cuts this really bad promo, and his promo lasted longer than this match. It was a 6-man tag. And for the second week in a row, Enzo has used some means of cheating to win. And somebody's calling me. I don't care. Shh. All right. And he uses he pokes one of the guys in the eye and then hits his finisher, which is called the Jordunzo or the Yordunzo. I don't know. Don't really care for it. So there's that. And that's all we see from the 205 Live division. We have Balor in the ring cutting a promo, and he says the NXT title looked great around his waist. And he says the Universal title looked great around his waist. And he said the Intercontinental Championship would look great around his waist, or would have looked great around his waist if it weren't for Bray Wyatt. And then he makes mention that, even though I beat him at SummerSlam, Bray Wyatt never really goes away. He catches you off guard, and he strikes when you're not ready for it. And so Balor says that he is going to be ready for it. And then we have Bray's kind of bup thing where he shows up and he cuts a promo under his one spotlight, and he talks about the story of when he was young. Somebody in his family used to take him hunting, and he'd use a bow and arrow, and he remembered flicking his finger and feeling the power of the arrow and the exhilarating feeling of killing an animal, being the judge, jury, and executioner. And so then he said that got boring for him, and so he started using his hands. And every time he was the judge, jury, and executioner, and every time they were found guilty. And so Bray Wyatt challenges Finn to put down his bow and arrow. He says that the demon is Balor's bow and arrow, and so he says that he wants Balor to put the bow and arrow down and fight him like a man. I really love the dynamic between these two. If it weren't for terrible booking and them rushing it and putting that first match that they were going to have on Raw before SummerSlam and then them having a repeat and then just kind of dragging it out now, I don't care. But the dynamic between the two with the different characters, the Demon King and Finn Balor on his own, as well as Bray and his ability to cut a promo, and he's great in the ring too. I really like that dynamic. I just can't find a reason to care about this because they're not really fighting over anything. It makes more sense now because Bray ruined Finn's chance to have an Intercontinental title chance or title shot, but I think it's too late. So moving on, we have Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax and Emma. This match goes 8 minutes, and it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't bad. They worked well together, all of them. Emma and Nia win. So now we have a fatal 4-way at No Mercy in 3 weeks for the Raw Women's Championship. The only thing I have to say about this is, again, we're seeing this. How many times is the WWE going to book a fatal 4-way or a multi-woman match for the title? I don't know who's going to win the match at No Mercy. Honestly, it doesn't really matter because as soon as Asuka gets moved up to Raw, she's going to win the title. And she's going to have another reign just like she did in NXT. That's the only way that should happen because Asuka is amazing. She's great. I don't know who they're going to put the belt on or if they're just going to have Alexa hold on to it, but Asuka is going to win the title as soon as she gets to Raw. It's going to happen. That's really all I have to say on that. So moving on, we have an interview backstage with Braun Strowman, and he cuts a really great promo here, basically following the lines of wherever I go, destruction follows. And he's frustrated with Kurt Angle because Kurt Angle put him in a steel cage match, and you don't see you don't see Brock Lesnar in a steel cage match 3 weeks before his title match. And so my first thought here is, well, maybe they keep. So this is what I think is going to happen, or at least the thought popped into my head as something that could happen. Brock's going to win at No Mercy, even though he's not scheduled to do anything until the Royal Rumble after this. I don't know if they'll put the title on Braun, but I can see Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman having a match at WrestleMania 34. I could see it happening. You know, Braun Strowman's disgruntled with the fact that he gets put in these matches, or he's not getting the matches that he wants, and Kurt's not scheduling him. I could see it happening. Not that what do I want to say here? I think it would be an entertaining match, but you know, that's just a thought that popped into my head. They continue to build on this. You know, Braun's disgruntled with Kurt, and then they start feuding. Just a thought. All right, moving on. We have Ambrose and Rollins against Gallows and Anderson in the bars at ringside. Sheamus and Cesaro, the bar. They're at ringside. And it looked as if Gallows and Anderson were building, and we're going to pick up the victory, and then the bar gets involved, and Rollins rolls up Anderson for the victory. You know, so the Gallows, Gallows and Anderson are jobbing out to everybody still. You know, a quick break here because I want to mention this. There's a segment that they had after this match involving Connor's Cure, with it being Children's Cancer Month or week or whatever it may be. You know, they did this thing with Connor's Cure, and they did this event one day in the past with these kids that are battling with cancer or have beat cancer and are now in remission. And I just, you know, the work that they're doing there, not only is it important, but it's fantastic. You know, they're making a difference in people's lives, and that's really important to me. They're not doing a lot of things right as far as the shows go, but this is one thing that they're doing right. They're giving back to the communities, as well as with Houston. They may mention it, you know, Booker T's from Houston. He was going to run for mayor. I don't know if he still is, but, you know, they made mention of that on the show as well. So now we have the main event, steel cage match, Braun Strowman and the Big Show. We get an interview with the Big Show. Actually, we get an interview with the official before the match, and he was the one that was in the last match where they did the superplex spot and it broke the ring. And so the official says that the ring has been double reinforced, and so I'm instantly thinking, okay, they're going to do another spot and try and break the ring again. It didn't happen. Things to kind of note here. Big Show hits an elbow drop from the top rope. It didn't look pretty, but it happened. Shades of a Paul White or younger Big Show when he was still a little more agile. We get a superplex spot. The ring doesn't break, although it sounded really stiff. You know, that ring sounded really stiff. Braun hits a running power slam and wins. But at the end, he makes mention in his promo that he cut in the interview backstage with Renee Young that he's sending a message to Brock Lesnar. And all this did really, this had nothing to do with anything that's going on in storylines, but it just further made Braun look strong. You know, he kicked out of a choke slam, he kicked out of of the knockout punch, and this, that, and the other. And it just made Braun look even stronger. But to end the show, Braun's about to walk out of the cage, and then he gets back in, and he launches, and he picks Big Show up, and he throws him through the cage, and Big Show falls down to the ground. And it looked like he landed really hard. It looked like he broke his hip, I'll be honest. And you could see as Braun's walking up the stage, they had medical staff there, and he was like holding his hip, and it looked like a really bad spot. And being that the Big Show is rather old, I don't think he'll be doing many more shows. Do we have anything else worth noting here? That's it. That's all I got. So that was Raw. Not a whole lot going on in this show. It was a holiday show, so they put two worthy matches that should have gained viewership, but people are at home barbecuing, doing their thing with their families right before school starts. So it was on a plus. On this kind of rating here, I put it at neutral. It did its thing. I don't even know how to feel about it. Like I was gonna do the review last night, and then I was having some issues with lighting in my room, and there really wasn't that much to go over as far as stuff that piqued my interest. So that's gonna end the review here. So I will be doing the SmackDown review tomorrow just because of the lighting situation that I have not figured out yet. I don't have an overhead light in this room, and I don't know. I think one of the bulbs went out in my lamp, so I'm going to be doing the reviews for the shows the day after, so you can expect that. SmackDown Live tonight. I'll take my notes and put my thoughts together and put that review up tomorrow. And then I'll watch NXT tomorrow, put that review up on Thursday, so it kind of spaces it out a little more because for most weeks between pay-per-views, we don't really have anything Thursday, Friday, Saturday, So that's it. As far as the review goes. But there's more. We got a Loot Crate. We got a Loot Crate box. We got the Slam Crate from Loot Crate. So we're going to go ahead and do this unboxing here. Have not opened this yet. I was expecting this the other day, but it didn't come, so I have to do this. We're doing this now. All right, what do we got here? Oh, it's the Extremes box. And we have Reborn by Fate. I'm glad I didn't buy this the other day when I bought all my new, you got the back here. I went to Hot Topic because Hot Topic has all the Bullet Club stuff. So I bought the Elite. I bought a Kenny Omega shirt. I bought a Bullet Club sweatshirt. I bought the American Nightmare that's ordered. It's going to be coming to me soon. I bought what was the other one? I got a Young Bucks one. So there's that. But yeah, so we have a new Hardy shirt, Reborn by Fate. It's pretty sweet. Add that to the collection of shirts that we have. Looks like a towel or a blanket, maybe. Is that what this is? Let's find out. I think it's a towel. What is it? It's a towel. It's a hot rod kilt towel thing, I think. I think that's what this is. Hot rod. And it's like a kilt, but it's a towel. So we got that. We got, what else do we got here? We got the Extremes book. So we got the people that are being highlighted here. We got Shane McMahon. We got The Undertaker, Mick Foley, Mankind, the Hardys, the Dudleys. So we got that, and it's got some good stuff in it. So we'll take a look at that later. We got a United States Championship pin here. That's pretty sweet. We'll add that to the collection. And finally, we have Loot Crate exclusive, one of the Ring Slam Stars. I don't know if I have one of these. Let's see here. Open this guy up. Okay, I do have these, so this just adds to the collection. But we got the Undertaker, the old school Undertaker look with the mask. So there's that. And it's got a ring that he stands on. And I have a Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H one already, so we'll add that to the collection as well. Hopefully I'll add a shelf in here so I can get all these action figures and some of the other stuff that I got just kind of laying here on the side. I got some Funko Pops and some other stuff that I want to get hung up. So hopefully that'll be in the mix soon. That was a good crate. Definitely a good crate. Got another good T-shirt. Um, with that being said, we're done for the day. I don't know. I might do some gameplay later. I sold Call of Duty, so I have Madden 18 and 2K17 wrestling still. So I might do something later on. Probably not. Look out for the SmackDown review tomorrow, NXT review on Thursday. One other thing I wanted to touch on since I've gotten back. My relationship with my dad got better. We've kind of worked on a few things since I got out and had a couple really good talks, which is good. But I'm excited to say that when I was little, my dad used to take me to wrestling events in Detroit all the time. You know, I'm from Michigan, and so we would go down to Detroit to the Joe Louis Arena, which is no longer home of the Red Wings. They moved to the Little Caesars Arena, which is awful. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a really nice place, but I really love the Joe. But anyways, we used to go to wrestling events all the time when I was young. We'd see house shows. We'd go to live TV events. We went to pay-per-views. Anything that was in Detroit, we used to go to, and he'd take me as much as he could. And for the first time since I was 6 years old, my dad and I are going to go to an event together in Detroit at the new arena. And it's going to be a pay-per-view. We're going to Hell in a Cell in October when I go home on leave. And, so I'm really excited for that. We got some pretty decent seats. We'll be able to see the whole structure. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not sure what's going to be on the card. I heard there was rumors. I'm not going to get into it. But I heard there's rumors that Shinsuke is going to beat Randy Orton tonight in the main event, and it's going to be Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal again. And I think they need to get the title off of Jinder, so hopefully Shinsuke will get a hold of the title, and then we'll move towards WrestleMania. But I'm really excited to go and have this time with my dad. My parents divorced at a young age, and so I didn't get a lot of time with my father due to the actions that he took throughout his life. You know, he was an alcoholic just like I am. He's been sober for many years now, and that means a lot to me. He's got 2 new kids that are growing up. One's about to turn 8, and the other's going to be turning 2 next year or this year. So, I want him. I'm glad that he's doing better for them. And so we're going to go to that event, and I'm going to hopefully do some stuff with like a GoPro, maybe do reactions to some of the matches. I'm not really sure, but we'll definitely do some stuff on the way there while we're getting in. So I'm excited for that. So be on the lookout for that when we get closer to Hell in a Cell, which is a SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view. But until next time, YouTube, this is Take It Easy, and I'm signing off. Y'all take care, and I will talk to you tomorrow when we do the SmackDown Live review.